Andre, we have some breaking news because Jeep just unveiled the 2025 Jeep Wagoneers.
What's Wagoneers?
It's the Wagoneer S,
Okay.
which it looks like has almost nothing in common with the Wagoneer.
Well, right now they sell the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer, which is a proper truck-based full-size SUV, which uses a frame underneath and then a body on top, and it's really based on the Ram 1500, and it's got similar powertrains as the Ram 1500. But what is this?
Well, this is an all-electric crossover, and Jeep did tease this a while back, but here we can see what Jeep is calling the industry's first modern SUV. The iconic 1963 Jeep Wagoneer featured a luxurious interior, and today the Jeep brand shares more details of its first global all-electric SUV, providing a first look at the interior of the all-new Jeep Wagoneer S.
Okay.
So look, we saw the concept, and now we're seeing perhaps a more production-ready version.
So we have several images. We can see the interior, at least a couple of renderings of the interior, right?
Very dark, though.
Why is it so dark?
Yeah, we might have to use some Photoshop there to brighten it up a little.
Well, here's the thing. It kind of makes sense to me, Tommy, because many other manufacturers, I'm thinking specifically of Range Rover, they have the full-size Range Rover, and then they have a sport version of the Range Rover. And it seems like Jeep is doing something similar here because they have the Wagoneer, which is a big truck, SUV, and then now they have something smaller that's a little bit different, more sporty.
And it's funny you bring up the Range Rover Sport, Andre, because this is a big departure in Jeep design, this Wagoneer S.
It is.
So, you know, Jeep has a couple of, perhaps we'll call it iconic design elements that we've seen across the board, including the 7-slotted grille, but a very upright driving position, lots of ground clearance. And the Wagoneer S departs from those in a few ways. So we still have a 7-slot grille, but it's more of a backlit trim piece.
Yeah, but it's also not very tall. Right?
Very skinny.
Skinny, not prominent, still 7-slotted grille. But if you bring up the profile again, like right there, I sense a little bit of Grand Cherokee, not a lot of Grand Cherokee, but it's kind of its own vehicle, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I kind of like different styles.
I'm not sure I'm on board with this, Andre.
No?
I mean, look, it has a huge pass-through rear wing. I mean, it's a handsome vehicle, but why not put this underneath like the Chrysler brand, which has almost nothing to sell right now? You know, Jeep has its off-road heritage going for it. This clearly isn't an off-road oriented vehicle.
No, it's not.
So why force a square peg into a round hole and not just market this as like a Dodge or a Chrysler? I don't really understand that.
I don't either, but I have a hint of Jeep design.
Yeah.
This is definitely Jeep. And I don't want all of my vehicles in the same brand to be like nesting dolls of each other. So I kind of appreciate that they're trying something new. But what about the specifications of it? Like, what's underpinning this thing?
Well, we don't know a whole ton, so we know it's going to be fully electric. We do know that it rides on a new Stellantis battery electric native architecture called the STLA. And a few days ago, actually, we got a press release about the STLA large platform, which is what underpins this vehicle. And should we go through some of the specs? Now, look, this vehicle is going to underpin several different vehicles, so this is not specific to the Grand Wagoneer S. Like a lot of other companies are going to use this on a couple other platforms.
Sure.
But we know, basically, that it's available in 400-volt or 800-volt architectures.
Good.
Let me scroll down here to the specs. So the wheelbase range is between 113 and 121 inches for this platform. The overall length is between 187 and 201.
So it's not a gigantic vehicle.
No, so it's not as big as the current Wagoneer, clearly.
Right.
And then the ground clearance stretches between 5.5 to 11.3 with a maximum tire diameter of 32.6.
So not huge tires.
No. So,
okay.
I mean, like, just kind of scanning through this press release, some interesting things that you got to understand.
What about battery size?
Yeah, 85 to 118 kilowatt hours.
Okay.
Depending on the vehicle. STLA Large targets an overall range of 500 miles for sedans and is engineered to easily accept future energy storage techniques when they reach production readiness.
Okay.
Fast charging will
But
have,
it's not like a range extender. It's purely electric
right.
chassis, at least for now.
The initial acceleration, initial generation of propulsion components holds the potential to deliver acceleration of 0 to 62 miles an hour in the 2-second range.
Yeah, but didn't they say the Wagoneer S would be somewhere in the 3.5-second range, 0 to 60?
Exactly. So specifically, they say 3.5
for the Wagoneer S.
In the Wagoneer S, yeah.
Okay, so that's very similar to where the previous Grand Cherokee Trackhawk was, because that was a supercharged V8 beast, which had very quick acceleration. And it seems like this Wagoneer S may be stepping in where that Hellcat left off.
Now, let's talk about the inside a little bit, because this is really our first look at the inside. So the press release says mindful materials, that kind of thing, a lot of marketing gibble there. Mindful materials, tailored unique terrain toggle. So color selectable ambient lighting, that's cool. Standard dual pane panoramic sunroof.
Cool.
And then a segment exclusive 19 speaker premium Macintosh audio system.
You know, so the Macintosh system is currently in the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer, and I love that system, dude.
Yeah, it's a good system.
It's a really nice stereo system. And by the way, Jeep and the rest of Stellantis brands, they've been really good with interior design.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they really have nailed a lot of functionality with quality materials. Now we see 4 screens, one for the driver, one for the cluster, one for the passenger, and then another one for climate control. And producer Zach zoomed in and saw that it does have stuff like massaging seats.
Okay.
Right? So it's got a lot of luxury in this thing. And then if we look at the shifter control, it's a dial. And then we've got modes for sand, snow, eco, auto, and sport with the actual power button.
So if you're used to the current either Grand Cherokee or a Wagoneer, you'll be kind of familiar with this setup.
Right. So let's talk about what this would compete with. So I'm thinking that this is definitely luxury oriented.
Yes.
So perhaps BMW iX.
Makes sense.
Tesla Model X. Potentially.
Yeah, sure.
Right? We don't know if it's 2 or 3 row, but judging on the roofline,
it looks 2-rowish.
It looks 2-rowish.
Yeah.
Some Mercedes offerings in there as well. So we're looking at, I would expect this thing to start like in the $85,000 range, $80,000 range.
Yeah.
Maybe Lucid Gravity, right? Look, I'm excited for Jeep to enter the battery electric field. I'm just not convinced that this is the direction I would have gone in. Because look, if you take away that 7-slotted front trim piece, this could be anything.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I agree.
You know, it could be a Lexus. It's got a lot of Lexus in the rear end.
It's attractive. I think it's attractive, but it's not core Jeep.
Right, I agree that it's attractive.
Yeah.
600 horsepower, it's going to be fast as heck, I bet. But it doesn't say Jeep to me really at all. So I'm kind of curious to see where this brand is going. I mean, look, the ground clearance looks to be very minimal. The tire is obviously street tire.
It's not an off-road vehicle. I mean,
no.
It could have air suspension that would bring it up.
Which you probably will have, yeah.
But still, that's not really off-road ready.
But hoping that it's got a big battery, hoping for range of excess of 300 miles, good charging. Stellantis has been pretty behind on releasing BEV vehicles for the U.S. market.
Yes. I mean, Jeep does have the plug-in hybrid, the
4xe, yeah.
The 4xe Wrangler, the 4xe Grand Cherokee, so they have some experience there. And also actually good powertrains. I've sampled both of them, and you have too.
Sure.
So those are pretty nice. So yeah, this is interesting. You know, what else worries me? Because they say this is coming this year, right?
Right.
But something else worries me, which is we haven't seen like a prototype on the road yet. Usually we're in Colorado, and we usually see camouflaged vehicles in the high country or even around the country, not just here. But I haven't seen one of these testing. Have you?
Good point. No, and maybe they don't need to do the same kind of high altitude testing because it's fully electric, right? But no, I haven't seen it. I mean, usually we see spy shots even out of Michigan or whatever, Toledo in some cases. But yeah, I haven't seen much from this. So folks, a lot of questions we still don't know pricing. They really didn't give us an exact on sale timing. Don't know a range.
But like by the end of this year, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, what they finished with is the Jeep brand is celebrating another year of first in 2024, preparing to launch its first global battery electric vehicle and expanding its lineup of legendary SUVs, meet the all-new, all-electric premium Jeep Wagoneer S. So it sounds like 2024, it's going to be a big year.
Yeah, for sure. So stay tuned. And with any luck, maybe we'll see other updated Jeep vehicles this year as well.
That for sure. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, this has been Tommy.
And Andre.
We'll see you in another video.